Hello, everyone, and welcome in to the Coach Everett Withers Show, and happy homecoming to the JMU Nation as the Dukes will head into this Saturday's game at 3:30 against the Tribe of William & Mary, one of the longtime rivals in JMU's football history, with a 3-0 most recent record, a 3-0 October, in fact, Coach. That was one of the missions for you. Mission accomplished. The Dukes go undefeated in the month of October.
Well, that was important for us. We started off the month, obviously, with Albany and wanted to go on the road and win a ball game there, and we were able to do that, come home and play a Townsend team that, obviously has been up and down a little bit this year, but we knew we had to play well because it'd be a tough outfit, and was able to win and went on a bye week, so we were able to beat the bye week.
You're 3-0 against bye.
3-0 against the bye week, and then go on the road again and play a Charlotte team for their homecoming at noon. So mission accomplished for the month of October.
And in that ball game, you jump out to the 21-0 lead. I mean, hardly the fans get a chance to settle themselves in there to Jerry Richardson Stadium, and you're out 21-0, using the strength of what you want to do from an offensive perspective. Right. That is run downhill. You did with Jawan Latney. Yeah,
we were able to do that early. We felt like we wanted to establish that early. We knew that they would, try some different things, move a little bit. We were able to establish the run. Then they started to crowd the line of scrimmage to stop the run, and we knew once that was the case, then we would have some open either throwing or running lanes in the perimeter.
Yep. Now the Dukes did get the ball out onto the perimeter. It helped in some big numbers for Vad Lee, who is this week's CAA Player of the Week. Vad with a school record 6 touchdowns that he was responsible for, 4 in the air and 2 on the ground. Going back to Plan B with your offensive approach, or Plan number 2, I guess, going out on the edge. That's what they were allowing you to do.
Yeah, they were allowing us to get the ball on the perimeter and in run-pass options and just to throw the ball out in hitches. And so we were able to take advantage of that a little bit because they were trying to outnumber the run inside. And, sometimes you have to take what people give you, and that's what our offense is, our staff. I really commend those guys for understanding that was something that we needed to do, and we're able to have some success doing it.
Lee finished with 404 yards of total offense, and again was named the CAA Player of the Week. We've talked about his throwing ability, his running ability. We also saw in a big play with Jawan Latney where he hooked up for 51 yards, where he extends a play. That was a busted play, and he extends it to make the big play.
Well, I think if you look at today's football, whether it be the NFL or whether it be college football, you start looking at guys that can extend plays, that can make plays off schedule. And actually, Vad made 2 big plays, the one to Jawan Latney and the other to John Klusterman down there in territory, throwing it to the tight end. So he's able to do that. What he's doing a good job of now is he's escaping but keeping his eyes up to be able to throw down the field late. And if it's not there, he's able to take off and go. So again, maturation by our quarterback, that's only helping us be better on offense.
All right, 48-40 was the final. Obviously, you give up 40 points. And as you went back and assessed this game, you can take 5 plays away, and the outcome is different in both the yards that you allow and probably the final score.
Yeah, we had 3 runs that we've got a free hitter to make a tackle, but a piece of that second-level run fit didn't get over the top of blocks, which cuts off the backside. And they had 3 plays, I think, of 110 yards rushing. That if we take away those 3 runs, that we're a little bit, we're feeling a little bit better about how we play defense. And then there's 2 passes. One, we misjudge a ball which we should intercept. And it goes 99 yards. And then there's another big pass that we give up because we bust the coverage. Our nickelback drops the coverage, basically. So you take 5 plays out, and I tell everybody, I have to be patient with our defense because we started 3 true freshmen in the ball game in the secondary and played a lot of young guys up front, and I felt like our front played fairly well. But, take those 5 plays out, and we feel a lot better about how we played.
Key plays in the second half where you get back-to-back turnovers. Unfortunately, you only get 3 points out of it. But those 3 points came off the foot of Ryan Maglio, who did give you also a 49-yard field goal. And at that point of the game, it didn't necessarily ice it, but it did give you a little bit of breathing room to keep the 49ers at bay. And they played pretty hard. They have been all season long.
Yeah, they again, they had 4 losses previously, and there were 7 points or less. So we knew that they would fight and try to stay in the ball game. But getting the 3 points there was crucial for our team, and also crucial for the fact that our special teams needed that kind of boost to know that we can go down there and if a drive stalls, we can still get points.
Special teams is an area that you probably benefited the most during that bye week, because you found some players to give your other top players a little bit of a breather themselves in playing in Saturday's game.
Yeah, we had several guys that we added to the special teams. One of them being a guy named Brandon Herford, who's a linebacker, walk-on linebacker that has really good size and can do some things, can run well. And we really wanted to pinpoint an area for him to help us. And he helped us in several areas on kickoff return, and did some things there. So it gave us an opportunity to reevaluate what we were doing in our kicking game a little bit. It gave us a chance to really look at if there's some things that we could add to our kicking game that could help us be a little bit more attack mode. So it gave us those, that bye week gave us some time to really look at some things that could help us down the stretch.
There were a lot of aspects in the game that you had to overcome. You had the big lead. Sometimes teams relax, take a breather there. You might sense that on the sideline, but you say you don't necessarily think that was the case here. But regardless, the outcome is what you want. You got to win, and good teams just find a way to win regardless of how they do it.
Yeah, and I watch a lot of football and been around a lot, and I found teams. I've been on really good teams that just find a way to win. I got a chance to watch on the way home, and when I got home, the Ohio State-Penn State game, and watch Ohio State go on the road, and not one time in that game that I felt like Ohio State was going to lose that game. I've been around that program enough to know that they were not going to lose that game, and you could sense it by the way the players played, and I think you could sense on the other side that Penn State probably felt like that they weren't going to win it either. So good teams just find a way to win on the road, and it may not be pretty, but they find a way to win.
Well, and you also said during your press conference at O'Neill's on Monday that you never felt like the Dukes were truly in jeopardy in that game. What gave you that sense?
I just felt like our kids have learned to go on the road, and I'm hoping that's a true statement the rest of the year as we've got a couple more games on the road, that they never panic. They never let the moment get too big for them, which is really good. We're starting to learn that a little bit. I hope that's the case down the road, but I never felt like we were in panic mode. They took the momentum there in the second and the third quarter. But I never felt like that we were ever in jeopardy of falling behind or losing control of the entire game.
We did see some key injuries in that game. Players leave. Can you give us, this is early in the week, though, can you give us a little status of maybe a couple of them? Jimmy Moreland, more importantly. Yeah,
Jimmy Moreland, we actually practiced Sunday night after a Saturday ball game. We went out and practiced. Jimmy practiced, so Jimmy's fine. Rakeem Stallings is probably a little bit more of a questionable deal. He has an MCL sprain in the knee, but I saw him not too long ago, and I think he'll be fine. We'll have to take care of him during the week in practice, but he should be up and ready to go.
All right. Well, Coach, congratulations. The Dukes with that 3-game winning streak puts them at 5-3, and they'll face the Tribe of William and Mary this Saturday. We'll take a look at Jimmy Laycock's Tribe when we return in just a little while here on the Coach Everett Withers Show.
Office products, we buy right so you can too.
That's right. At Office Products, we do things right. With our multi-million-dollar inventory of new, used, and refurbished furniture, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. From desks to chairs, filing cabinets, and so much more.
All the major brands that you're looking for. Office Products, we buy right so you can too.
Office Products, we do things right.
Hey, did you know Harrisonburg Nissan has the best selection of pre-owned cars in the Valley? With something for everyone. Best selection, locally owned, #1 volume dealer, it all adds up. Check it out at harrisonburgnissan.com.
Cleared his hip. Break a little. That's good. Good job. Game on.
Come closer. Yeah, that's it. If you buy now at Harrisonburg Nissan, you won't have to make a payment till 2015. But don't tell anyone. If the word got out, everyone will be buying there. Check it out, harrisonburgnissan.com.
Welcome back to the Coach Everett Withers Show, everyone. Time now for a little bit of Chalk Talk, and we're going to join, first of all, the defensive coordinator for the Dukes, Brandon Staley.
Hi, I'm Brandon Staley. I'm the defensive coordinator at James Madison. I'm here to review 2 of the plays from the game against Charlotte this past weekend. There was a lot of purple and gold in the stands. We appreciate everybody that was from the Duke Club, all the parents of the players. It was a really, really neat scene after the game. And we really look forward to seeing you guys this weekend for homecoming. Expect a big crowd and really excited to put on a good show for JMU Nation. The first play that we want to talk about was on a third down, in the third quarter. And it was a really critical play in the game because we forced a field goal that really stopped their momentum. In this play, we're in nickel defense. It's a third down play. We've got 5 defensive backs in the game. We've got 4 defensive linemen. We're in a 4-man twist game here. We've got Brandon Lee, Simeon Robinson, Alex Mosley, and Sage Harold as our 4-down rushers. You'll have Marquise Woodyard at the star position, Taylor Reynolds, Dean Marlowe, and Marcel Johnson at the 2 safeties. And you've got Gage Steele, Kyrie Hawkins as the 2 linebackers with Jeremiah Wilson at the top. We're playing a form of a bracket coverage, a split safety bracket. And as you see, the routes are tightened up. We deny their best player, their slot receiver. We've got inside leverage on him because all their routes on third down came inside. So we were going to deny the inside coverage. We're able to double team the corner route there at the top, and then we're able to pass off this shallow cross between the 2 linebackers. So as you see, there's no one to throw to at the top of the drop. We talk about that all the time. Anytime we're in a 4-man pass rush, when the quarterback gets at the top of his drop, if there's nobody to throw it to, we expect our pass rush to be there. So we've got a twist game inside. You'll see Sage Harold knife into the inside up there at the top. Brandon Lee does a great job with a chop spin here down at the bottom. And then Simeon Robinson, who was our defensive player of the game, he just keeps working to contain. And when the quarterback steps up, he's got a big sack there that ended that drive. It was a really critical play that really stopped their momentum. And so you'll see Sage coming from the other side here down the middle. Brandon taking an inside move on their tackle. And then Simeon Robinson able to loop around, all right, and get the sack. A lot of it had to do with the coverage. Our 6 people in coverage did a great job tightening the routes up. And then our 4 rushers were relentless to the quarterback.
The first play I want to show right here is a play that we opened the opening drive right here, a touchdown scoring play. If you look in the backfield, we wanted to show a lot of what we call gap schemes, stuff where we pull the guard. So we had to create some form of play action off of that. And right here, okay, we're going to flash the ball to the running back, okay, and try and buy the underneath coverage right here. Meanwhile, we're going to take our 2 field side receivers, okay, and occupy the corner and the safety right here while bringing the backside receiver, Daniel Brown, all the way across the field. As he gets all the way across the field, those 2 receivers have taken the 2 deep defenders out of their zones right here, creating a nice void. I think the key part of this play, though, for us, something that we've been harping on with our wideouts is to play more physical. And if you watch Brandon Ravenel, he's going to put that guy off to the sideline and make it that touchdown block real. If you want to look at this from the tight view, though, okay, the key to play action is selling the run, okay, and this is really what you want from 50, okay, and that's a product of our offensive line doing a great job in play action protection, keeping their pads down, okay, making it look just like the run. You look at the backfield action, okay, it looks just like the run, okay, in fact, so much so that the 2 linebackers don't know where to go. That creates the voids in the underneath zones that you like and allows Daniel Brown to make a touchdown.
Thank you there, Coach Maringer. Well, he had a great game last week. In fact, he's having a pretty darn good season. He may be in the running for the CAA Player of the Year. Well, that still remains to be seen. But he is this week's CAA Offensive Player of the Week. That's Vad Lee. And Bridget Condon has this special feature on the Duke's junior quarterback.
Ready to go.
Not only has it been an easy transition for the coaches, but for the redshirt junior transfer as well.
Coach Withers called me one day and was like, "What do you know about Vad Lee?" And he was like, "Great dual threat kid that went to Georgia Tech." And he said, "Would you be happy if we took him?" And I said, "Absolutely."
For head coach Everett Withers, this wasn't the first time he had dreamed of coaching Vad Lee.
I knew Vad back from high school. When he was in high school at Hillside High School, and I was at the University of North Carolina. We were recruiting him at North Carolina, so I had the opportunity to get to meet him, know him, his coaches, his coaching staff. And we lost him at North Carolina, and then I left, and obviously when I got here, his high school coach called me.
Lee had offers all across the FCS.
It's us, I think Townsend, I think Northern Iowa that he was looking at, and he took trips to all of them. And ultimately, I think our previous relationship helped.
I found out Coach Withers took the job and the staff that he brought in. I was really excited about it, and it was just an awesome opportunity that I couldn't turn down.
You know, I always felt like Georgia Tech got a really good football player. He was just not happy there in their system. I thought bringing him here and giving him a fresh start, kind of a new lease on life would be beneficial for both parties.
His coaches say his attitude and drive have made this season enjoyable for everyone.
The minute that you meet Vad, he's got a very boisterous, exuberant personality. So he was an easy person to like and an easy person to coach. So.
It's impacted our whole entire football program because I think he's a first-class individual.
Lee came to JMU with hopes to become a role model for this program.
I just want to lead this offense, be the general, make sure that we're running, making sure that we're in the right plays, and really just winning games. It's not about me.
Get more of what your family wants from Entelos Wireless. Now share 10 gigs of data, unlimited talk and text on 4 lines for just $140 a month. Want even more? How about 0 down on all smartphones? We'll even buy out your contract. More phones, more lines, and more data. Stand up and demand more. Entelos, wireless for the people.
Office products, we buy right so you can too.
That's right. At Office Products, we do things right. With our multi-million-dollar inventory of new, used, and refurbished furniture, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. From desks to chairs, filing cabinets, and so much more.
All the major brands that you're looking for. Office products, we buy right so you can too.
Office Products, we do things right.
Clear to zip. Break a little. That's good. Good job. Game on.
Come closer. Yeah, that's it. If you buy now at Harrisonburg Nissan, you won't have to make a payment till 2015. But don't tell anyone. If the word got out, everyone will be buying there. Check it out. HarrisonburgNissan.com.
He was a two-sport athlete at Harrisonburg High School. He came on to James Madison and played baseball for his father, and now he is directing the program in Blacksburg for the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Recently, he visited our campus, and that is JMU alum Whit Babcock, and I had a chance to spend a little time with him. Well, he's a homegrown chap, and he's come back home here. Of course, he went to Harrisonburg High School. He ended up playing here at James Madison University, a little baseball. His dad was the head coach when they took the Diamond Dukes to the College World Series in 1983. He was a little young at that particular time, but we want to welcome here a special guest on Madison HD Sportsnet during one of our alumni features, and he is 1992 JMU graduate, Whit Babcock. Whit, welcome back to campus. Great to have you here.
It's wonderful to be back. Very fond memories of JMU and really shaped who I am today, and it's a thrill to be here.
You have gone quite of a whirlwind route, 44-year-old now, but now the athletics director, down the road a little bit, Blacksburg at Virginia Tech. Give us a little quick run of the history of how you got there.
Oh, yeah. Obviously went here to Madison and majored in sports management, and I got some advice to go to graduate school. I wasn't a good enough baseball player to play professionally, so I went to graduate school. I was going to work in sports and have worked everywhere from minor league baseball to back at Madison and Auburn and West Virginia, Missouri, Cincinnati, and here. So I hope to do a good job and stay around a while, but it's great to be close to Harrisonburg, and I hope to get re-engaged more with Madison.
You started out, again, you went to West Virginia, got your master's there at West Virginia, but you were in development first. Did you kind of go through the various levels of college athletics before you got into the AD portion of it?
Yeah, I did come up through the development ranks, and actually I started under a guy by the name of Mike Minnis here in the Duke Club, and came up through those ranks, but over time learned some of the breadth of the industry, and really the guy that probably made the most impact on my career is when I worked at Missouri, and there I was in the, quote, number 2 position, and the AD there, Mike Alden, really handed me the keys and let me make mistakes, and hopefully we had some successes and took it from there. But development and fundraising and marketing was my entry into the business.
We've had a little bit of time to spend together before we do this interview officially, but your memories of James Madison, we've been talking about some of those guys that you played with back with the Diamond Dukes in the late 80s and early 90s. Baseball and playing here at your hometown, what was that like?
Yeah, the 80s or the late 80s and early 90s when I played, I have fond memories of that. But growing up in Harrisonburg and watching the growth of Madison College into James Madison University and all that Ron Carrier did and the building of the football program. My dad was also a JV football coach with Chalice McMillan. And to watch Madison College go from Division III to Division II to Division I and blossom what it is today, I don't know that any of us could have believed it, but the vision of a lot of people made that happen. So I go way back, and my dad taught phys ed back then. You coached, and in addition to coaching baseball, football, he taught motorcycle, driver's ed, and racquetball. So there were some perks to the job. I got to come hang around campus as a kid and grow up there. So while my playing career was great, what really brings me back when I come back are those early days of the 70s and just growing up on a college campus. And there's worse ways to grow up, but it taught me a lot for my job today, whether it was working camps or in the equipment room or being around my dad as a coach. Just being on a college campus, I didn't know it was doing it at the time, but it really prepared me for what I do today.
When you look at this campus, I mean, over here we've got Bridgeforth Stadium. You're visiting some of the other facilities. What are your thoughts about JMU today?
Yeah, some of them I'm jealous. I need to take them back to Virginia Tech there. Really impressed. It has a good, clean look. Jeff Bourne and the leadership team have done a tremendous job, but the facilities have really come along. Campus is beautiful. What a great place to recruit to. So I'm proud as an alumnus, but I'm a little envious too as an AD. So I think they're outstanding, really impressive.
The NCAA right now is going through a lot of evolutionary change on many levels, and you're at the level now at the FBS and the Big Five with many of the changes. When you get up and you read the paper or you watch the news or ESPN, to be an athletics director at that level and to see the national change, what's your general thought on where college athletics are today?
Yeah, I guess the best way or the simplest way to put it, I think we're in a market correction. And I only shake my head because it's challenging. I'm all for amateurism. I'm not for professionalization of college athletics, but we lost our way a little bit as the NCAA, and TV has probably been the best and the worst thing for our industry. It's brought a lot of money in, it's brought a lot of visibility, a lot of ability to build things for Title IX and all that, but the money's gotten so big, and that we're kicking off games at Wednesdays and other things. So I think we've lost our way a little bit. Hopefully now it's going to center back on the student athlete, and I'm all for that. I think, how do you justify the money that you spend to pay coaches or pay ADs or build facilities and not invest some of it back in the well-being of your student athletes? So if it stays on that track, I'm all for it, but I hope it doesn't go any farther than that. I still believe in the tradition and pageantry and amateurism of college athletics. That's where it needs to be. So if we can accomplish both, great. But I'll be glad when this time of turmoil is over and we get back to what we're all here to do, and that's train our young people and educate them and win some games.
Well, Whit, thank you for joining us this very short time. We could talk a lot more, I know, and I'm sure that you and I will off camera here. But welcome back to Harrisonburg. Welcome back to your campus and to your town. It's great to have you here in Harrisonburg.
Oh, I'm honored to be back and really proud of everything here. Go Dukes.
Get more of what your family wants from Entelos Wireless. Now share 10 gigs of data, unlimited talk and text on 4 lines for just $140 a month. Want even more? How about zero down on all smartphones? We'll even buy out your contract. More phones, more lines, and more data. Stand up and demand more. Entelos, wireless for the people.
At Harrisonburg Nissan, right now, you can get 0% financing on select models. Hey, keep your money. Use Nissans. We'll honor and beat all buying service prices. We want your business. Check it out at harrisonburgnissan.com.
Welcome back to the Coach Everett Withers Show, everyone. Dukes are back at home at Bridgeport Stadium, a 3:30 kickoff time against the Tribe of William and Mary. Tribe coming off a win over the Delaware Blue Hens last weekend, Coach. And two teams are really on a collision course. Both are 5-3. I know you don't want to look a little bit further, but this becomes could be a pivotal game for both programs. Yeah, anytime you get back into conference play with the stakes as high as they are right now, it's important that you play well. And William and Mary is playing good right now. They had an opportunity to beat the Delaware team last week, so we've got to play well to compete and go win the game. Of course, Jimmy Laycock is one of the deans around college football. He's been around it many, many years. And just from your perspective, watching him from the outside, what do you see of this William and Mary program? Well, very well coached. They're going to be sound in all 3 phases. They're going to play very hard, very aggressive. They've done a great job of recruiting in their program, recruiting to their culture in the program. I think that is really important. I had an opportunity to play them when I was at the University of North Carolina, and we actually played them for a homecoming, and they did a great job. So I know they're going to be a tough task for us on Saturday at homecoming. William and Mary always has a very efficient offense, seemingly so. Very rarely are they struggling on offense. Right. And this year they're led by a fine running back whose father played for the Pittsburgh Steelers in Michael Abdul-Sabor. Yeah, he's a very talented runner. He's, I think, second in the league right now in rushing, a little bit over 100 yards rushing. Had a big game against Delaware, 198 yards. And we're going to have to do a great job of balling him up and taking away some of the run lanes that he looks for. How about defensively? What do you see in the Tribe? Again, another attacking defense. They had, I think, 5 sacks last week against Delaware. So they're going to try to get after your quarterback, stop your run, and get you in long yardage situations on 3rd down and try to get after your quarterback. All right, the Dukes and the Tribe of William and Mary. It's been a great series throughout the years, and it will continue on Saturday at 3:30. For head coach Everett Withers, I'm Kurt Dudley. Thank you for joining us this week. Have a great football Saturday when it comes your way.